Hello, hello. Welcome back, everybody. I hope that you are all doing well and that you have been enjoying this week's lessons. Today, we will be talking about science, which is why I am speaking in English. Today is Thursday, April 2nd, 2020. Um, we will be working with science, so remember that when we are not doing math, you are supposed to be working on Imagine Math in the morning. So, we had the chance to talk about the needs of animals, and today what we're going to do, we're going to start talking about different classes of animals. Now, when I'm talking about classes of animals, I'm not talking about school. I'm talking about the different ways that we group animals. So yesterday I asked that you watch the brain pop video about classifying animals, and it kind of gave you some examples of the animals that we're going to be talking about. So to begin, I want to just kind of go over the different animals we're going to be talking about. We're going to get started with the vertebrates. And the vertebrates are the animals that have a spine in their back. So today specifically, we're going to be talking about mammals. And mammals are make up the biggest amount of animals in the world. And we're going to get a little bit more into detail after we read our book. So, we are talking about mammals. Estamos hablando de mamíferos. Voy a leer un libro y también tiene las palabras en inglés. Así es que si no puedes seguir mi voz con en inglés, también tienes disponible las palabras en español. So we're going to get started. I'm going to read this book to you guys. It's called About Mammals. Mammals have hair. They may have thick fur, sharp quills, or only a few stiff whiskers. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to be stopping and just kind of going over what we're talking about. So mammals, one of the biggest things that can tell you the difference between a mammal and something else is that it has hair, okay? So it's talking about they can have hair, they can have whiskers, or they can have fur. Baby mammals drink milk from their mothers. Some mammals are born helpless. Others can move about on their own soon after they are born. Mammals may run, climb, swim, or fly. So mammals are different kinds of animals. As we have seen already in the book, none of them look really similar. That's because since there's so many different characteristics, it gives them the ability to have more animals in this class. Mammals can eat meat, plants, or both. They live in cold, icy places, hot and dry deserts, or wet marshes. It is important to protect mammals and the places where they live. Okay, so that's just a little bit of information that the book has given us to talk about mammals. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to share a little bit more details about these animals. To begin, I have an example here of two mammals. So we have the lion, and one way that we can tell that this lion is a mammal is because it has hair, right? It has a spine, and it also has the ability to have babies. So another way that we can tell that this animal, which is a tiger, is a mammal is because it also has hair, it has a backbone, and it can also have babies. So what I prepared here was a chart to give you a little bit more information about mammals. So mammals have fur or hair, okay? They have backbones or a spine. Mammals can make milk for their babies. They can be big or small, and they can live pretty much anywhere. Some animals, like fish, have to only live in water to survive, but mammals are able to live in the water, in the land. They can live in the sky, anywhere and everywhere that it lets them. They can live in forests, in deserts. They don't really need a specific place to live because these animals can adapt to their environment. Mammals, like the book mentioned, can also eat meat. So this is one of the only kinds of animals that actually eats meats. Um, Mammals are warm-blooded, and there are many different kinds. Like we saw in the book, there wasn't just one kind of animal or one type of fish. There was a lot of different kinds of animals. We saw bats, we saw squirrels, we saw even whales. So that's where we can see the difference of the size. So they can be big or they can be small. And like we talked about on Tuesday, mammals need food. They need water. They need shelter. They need air. These are animals and these are their needs. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to have you guys do a little sorting game for your ClassDojo activity. So I'm going to show you. So on a piece of paper, I'm about to show you some animals, and you are going to decide whether or not they are mammals. And one way that can help you find this out is thinking of these next questions. So, does this animal have fur? Can it give birth? Can it have babies? Is it warm-blooded? And before we move on, I want you to think about this word warm-blooded. When I'm talking about warm blood, I'm not specifically talking about the temperature because we can't really feel the blood of these animals, but I'm talking about the kind of animals that can regulate their temperature. So this means that if they get too hot, they know that they can jump in the water to cool down. Or if they get too cold, they know they can come lay in the sun to get warm. Kind of like us. Did you know that humans are also mammals? Think about it. Humans have hair. Some humans, like our moms, can give birth. They can have babies. And we are also warm-blooded. When we get cold, we know how to get warm. When we get warm, we know how to cool down. So that makes us also mammals. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some pictures of some animals, and I want you to decide at home, is this a mammal? Think about these 3 questions as we are going through them. So we have right here 12 animals. Whoa. Now, what I suggest is that you pause the video when you are ready to do your activity. So I have my paper ready here for me, kind of like the one that was shown in the previous page, and I can go back to it so I can show y'all how to set it up. So you're going to write your name, today's date, and the title. Who is a mammal? So you're going to make a T-chart, which is where we're going to compare. So one side is going to be for the animals that are mammals. The other side is for the ones that are not mammals. So now looking at our pictures, I'm going to go through these animals. And as I'm going through them, I want you to think about the questions that I'm going to be asking. So first one we have is a zebra. Does a zebra have hair or fur? I think I've seen some hairy ones, some fur. Does a zebra give birth? I have seen many baby zebras, especially at the zoo. So obviously they have to have a mama. So yes, they can give birth. Is a zebra warm-blooded? Okay, so now let's think about that one. If the zebra gets cold, I've seen some zebras jump in the water, and that's a way for them to cool down. And if they get too hot, I mean, they go down into the water. If they get too cold, they might go stand outside in the sun so they can warm themselves up. So I think a zebra is a mammal. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to look at the rest of these animals. And I wrote down right here their names just so you know how to spell them. So we have ladybug. Think about the 3 questions with the ladybug. A giraffe, a hippo, a dog, a rabbit, turtle, a fish, a koala, a monkey, a duck, and a frog. We have 11 more animals that I want you to sort. So remember that you are writing down the ones that you think are mammals and the ones that you don't think are mammals. And it's that simple. You're going to then take a picture of your paper and upload it to the activity for ClassDojo so you can get your points for today. I really hope you guys enjoyed this short lesson, and I look forward to seeing your answers on ClassDojo. Bye-bye.